Have you ever wondered how humans went from living in caves to building megacities that touch the sky? How did a fragile species once hunted by lions end up splitting the atom, touching the moon, and creating gods out of machines? Today, we'll uncover the entire history of human civilization from the first spark of fire to the rise of digital empires. But here's the twist. What if everything we've built is just history repeating itself? Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and like this video. It really helps us bring you more deep dives into the mysteries of humanity. Now, let's go back, way back. It begins not with kings, not with empires, but with hunger. Somewhere around 300,000 years ago, early humans roamed the earth naked, terrified, and desperate to survive. They didn't have money, language, or power, but they had one thing that changed everything: curiosity. That curiosity pushed us to discover fire, to cook food, to see in the dark, to gather around flames and share stories, the first social networks in history. And those stories created something new: belief. Belief that we could control nature. Belief that we were chosen. Belief that the world was ours to rule. By 10,000 B.C., humans learned how to farm. The first seeds were planted not just in the ground, but in our destiny. Villages turned into towns, towns into cities. And for the first time, power became visible. The first civilization rose in Mesopotamia, the land between rivers. They built temples to their gods, invented writing, and created trade. Gold and silver started to rule hearts long before kings did. Power was no longer about muscle, it was about control. But as soon as humans built something, they started fighting over it. Egypt, Babylon, Persia, each believed they were eternal. Each believed their gods had blessed them. Each fell. Because every empire has a pattern. It rises on innovation. It thrives on expansion. It dies on arrogance. Rome was no different. From dusty villages to unstoppable legions, they conquered half the known world. They built roads, laws, and philosophy. But inside, corruption grew like a cancer. Bread and circuses distracted the masses. And when outsiders came, Rome didn't fall in battle. It collapsed from within. History's greatest lesson? Civilizations don't die from enemies. They die from comfort. And yet, from the ashes, new powers always rise. China built dynasties that lasted millennia. India gave birth to spiritual empires, ideas that outlived armies. In the deserts, Islam united tribes into nations. In Europe, faith turned into power, and knowledge turned into rebellion. The Renaissance exploded like a rebirth of the human mind. Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Galileo, they rediscovered what had been lost for centuries. Then came the age of exploration, when greed wore the mask of discovery. Empires spread across oceans, enslaving continents in the name of civilization. Gold and gunpowder became the true gods of the world. By the 18th century, the Industrial Revolution changed everything again. Machines replaced hands. Smoke replaced silence. And suddenly, time itself had value. But let me ask you something. If machines made life easier, why did people work harder than ever before? If we became smarter, why did wars get bloodier? Make sure you're still here, because what's coming next will shock you. In the second part, we'll see how everything humans built led to a single moment, our modern age, and how it might already be collapsing. Stay till the end. I've gathered real data and facts that'll make you question if we're repeating Rome's final chapter. Before we move on, don't forget to hit subscribe and like. Your support keeps this history alive. When the 20th century arrived, humanity believed it had finally won. We conquered disease, distance, and even the atom. Cities grew into steel jungles. the internet turned every mind into a battlefield of ideas. We called it progress. But what if progress was just a prettier word for control? Because just like the pharaohs used religion, modern rulers use information. We don't build pyramids anymore, we build algorithms. Our gods are no longer made of stone, they're made of code. We kneel not before kings, but before screens. And every click, every like, every scroll feeds a machine that learns us better than we know ourselves. Money became digital, war became invisible, and truth became negotiable. The same pattern repeats, just faster. Innovation brings power. Power breeds arrogance. Arrogance brings collapse. You can trace it like clockwork. Rome, Mongols, Ottomans, the British Empire, every single one thought they'd last forever. Every single one fell. Today's global civilization, connected, digital, seemingly unbreakable, follows the same rhythm. Our smartphones are the new temples. Our data, the new gold. And our attention, the battlefield. Let me tell you something strange. In 2023 alone, humans produced more data every 2 days than the entire history of civilization before 2003. Every 2 days. But despite all that knowledge, anxiety and loneliness are at record highs. We've built a world that knows everything and understands nothing. Maybe the downfall of civilization isn't war. Maybe it's distraction. Because while we scroll through endless feeds, oceans rise, empires shift, and artificial minds quietly learn how to replace us. And here's the real twist. Every great collapse in history started when people thought they were safe. When comfort replaced curiosity. When convenience became the new god. So ask yourself, are we repeating the past, just with better Wi-Fi? Before I reveal the final 3 takeaways, if you've made it this far, you're one of the few who still care about truth. So please, subscribe and like this video. It really helps our work reach others who want to understand the bigger picture. Now, let's end with what history is really trying to tell us. 3 final takeaways. 1. Every civilization is built on imagination. The moment we stop dreaming, the moment we stop questioning, we begin to decay. It's not armies or disasters that end empires. It's forgetting why they were built. 2. Technology doesn't change human nature, it only exposes it. Greed, fear, hope, and pride, they've always been there. The tools just keep getting sharper. 3. The next civilization may not be built by humans at all. Artificial intelligence is writing our next chapter. The question is, will we guide it or serve it? So maybe the entire history of human civilization isn't a story of progress. Maybe it's a loop repeating until we finally learn. Until we realize that power without wisdom always ends the same way. Thank you for watching. If you felt something, if this made you think, show it. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who still believes history matters. Because the only way to change the future is to understand the past.